So I will be sharing this video. He speaks on the Pequot people. Just like the number that you call for ISIS to gather the red nations, the definition in the Strong Concord means an Israelite. When you do the gematria for the Pequot people, it says the 12 tribes of Israel.
Pequot people were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more. And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will no longer be able to call themselves a Pequot. I am proud to say I'm a Mashantucket Pequot. This is the history, folks. Because that particular day, that particular incident is when this country declared its second religious day of Thanksgiving. This is what we're celebrating, folks. And for all of you who took pictures of me with my nice little pilgrim head buddy here, I hope you get the story that goes with it, because anyone who sees this, I'm sure, thinks I'm a sick, twisted individual. This is a reminder. This is what Hallmark greeting cards and Charlie Brown cartoons should be showing when we celebrate this holiday every year, when we celebrate Columbus Day every year, because this is what it represented.
So Christopher Columbus, when he came to our shores and colonized our people, well, Christopher Columbus was a black Moor. These are crypto-Jews. In fact, all of Europe, including Russia, the Tsars of Russia, they were black. The Greeks and Romans, they were black. These are your black nobilities. The pharaohs were black. So the Pope, who was black at the time too, before he got whitewashed, was also black, and he divided the world between the King of Spain and Portugal to have it colonized. And they were the black nations. That's what they were. What happened was that the Neanderthal, the wild man, eventually took down the kingdom of the Moors. And when they did, they rewrote history and they whitewashed everything. Whitewashed everything. But our colonizers of our people were the black nations, the black races, the Moors.
Yourself, how could they fake history? That's how they did it.
They divided for themselves the kingdoms they exterminated, and they created fake portraits and fake stories. They burned what they could, and they claimed to have built those they couldn't destroy. The wild men flag was raised everywhere. Fake kings and fake queens appeared everywhere. And that is how you created a fake history of America, Europe, and Russia. And thus, the Tartary Empire became a forgotten entity, just like their neighbors, the black Europeans. They became a ghost in the annals of history.
The victors write the story. That's what you got to remember. And there've been plenty victors, and there's been plenty wars fought. So
King Charles II, the Black King of the British Isles. Charles II was, in the popular language of the day, a tall black man. A whitewashed illustration of King Charles. Statues of King Charles with the nose broken off. Hotels and pubs named the Black Boy in honor of King Charles. All of which have black children being represented. King Charles was nicknamed the Black Boy by his mother because of his very dark complexion. Prince James of Wales, the nephew of King Charles. The Avignonese chronicler describes James as of light brown complexion. A whitewashed illustration of Prince James of Wales.
Second King of Spain, son of Charles V. Charles V from the Inca Kings list in Lima, Peru Museum. Next to him is the last Inca Emperor Atahualpa. This is Philip IV, King of Spain, grandchild of Philip II. He looks mixed just as shown in the Inca Kings list. Another statue with a removed nose is that of Charles II, King of England, Scotland. And Ireland, Charles II was nicknamed Black Boy as a kid due to his dark skin. I have already made a video on him showing primary sources as one of the pinned videos. If not pinned, it's number 21 on the History is a Lie playlist. Enjoy and thanks for listening.
Wow, so you see, when I was writing my book, I had no idea that was Philip II as a youth. I got Charles V, Holy Roman Empire. I got, as you see here, Charles II, King of England. See his statue right here, nose chiseled off just like the Kemetian statues. And if you check what's written about these guys, it hardly ever matches the images, because the images have been faked. Do you understand? And it goes back to Thomas Cromwell and the Reformation. The Iberian Peninsula done had Moors on there. Since before Moors left Morocco, there was already a heavy influx of Ibs people, Phoenicians, Sephardic Jews that was already on mainland Europe and the Iberian Peninsula. You understand? So when you find out the real history of places, of not open places like France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, it's not just Britain. All of these places were full of degenerative Moorish bloodlines that had become the royal households and the aristocracies of all of those lands. So get yourself on Amazon UK, grab yourself a copy of the book in paperback, hardcover, or...
So the first 8 presidents of the U.S. were black men. They were Moors, and they were all related to the King of England. So during the Battle of Waterloo, the Winslers went bankrupt. So they had to borrow from the Rothschilds under one condition: breeding rights. So they got lighter and lighter through time. And as you can see, this is a brooch that Queen Elizabeth's wearing, and she's standing, well, the angel's standing on top of a red copper nation, one of our tribal men.
And aided by angels and archangels and all the armies of the heavenly host, may thy portion this day be in peace, and thy dwelling in the heavenly Jerusalem.
I mean, these rituals go back at least 5,000 years, and they're initiated into it, and they know all the secrets, and they're trained from their ancestors, these celestial beings.
And aided by angels and archangels.
I've always loved this portrait of our ancestor, Queen Charlotte.
Even a Lifetime special based on the romance of the present-day Duke and Duchess chimed in.
Oh, yes. You're of mixed race, Harry. So am I.
Why doesn't the Queen just come out and say it?
She can't.
She may not. It's one of the things that the royal family cannot do. She would be stepping into political water.
You're saying that having black lineage is political in today's times.
Highly political.
Civilizations is that the British royal family has been flat-lie royal since 1840.
Explain that.
Flat-lie royal means illegitimate, not allowed on the throne. So, from the Battle of Waterloo, the British royal family lost all their money and they've been funded by the Rothschilds in exchange for breeding rights. So the Rothschilds had the breeding rights to the British royal family from 1819 to 2019.
So what was the purpose of the Rothschilds needing this?
The British royal family were virtually bankrupt from 1815. So the Rothschilds funded the British royal family in exchange for the Rothschilds breeding the royals. So the whole British royal family are Rothschild Batards. And Batard is the royal name for bastard. So what I did in my legal documents is I exposed King George V of England as being sired by Tsar Alexander III of Russia, and I exposed Queen Elizabeth II as sired by artificial insemination by Winston Churchill, who was actually the illegitimate son of King Edward VII.
Hang on.
I know, it gets too much, so I'll show you a chart.
Okay, so you've got it all laid out for us.
Colombia is the 3 cities around the world. So it consists of Washington, D.C., the District of Maryland, the land of Mary, Virginia, Virgin Mary, also the Vatican, Rome, and London. So these 3 run the world. And as you can see, the black nobility joined with the papacy because the original popes were black. They were the ones that gave us these religions. The Abrahamic religions were actually the ones that gave it to us were the Moors.